I've always loved to rifle through old lesson books. My grandmother's piano bench was, and still is, full of piano and organ method books, my mom's guitar books and magazines, and everything I ended up adding to the pile. Now, the internet is like a giant Mary Poppins-esque piano bench, and if you know where to look, you can find some interesting relics. Ernest Ka'ai was a renowned musician born in Honolulu, Hawaii in 1881. He was a composer, performer, and teacher who, in 1906, published The Ukulele, a Hawaiian guitar and how to play it. In this, his first of many music publications, Ka'ai's introduction to the instrument is not entirely different from that which you might find on a bookshelf today. Not entirely. There are bits in this book, as well as others from the early 1900s, that look baffling in terms of how we think and talk about music notation now. One particular piece of notation that I found particularly confusing was how chords and lyrics were presented. Today, we expect to see the chord name written above or sometimes next to the lyrics. Ka'ai presents a numbered system based on the key of the song. Each key has 3 chords, numbered 1, 2, and 3. For the key of C, 1 equals C, 2 equals F, and 3 equals G. If a song requires an additional chord, say A minor, you would have to borrow it from another key, the key of A minor in this instance. In the key of A minor, 1 equals A minor, 2 equals D minor, and 3 equals E7. It would have to be notated that the 1 of A minor should be played. What makes this particularly confusing is how we talk about music theory. If we're talking about chords in a key, and we'll use C as our example, there's a chord for each note in the scale. Each chord is numbered, typically with a Roman numeral. C is the first chord of the scale, D minor, 2, E minor, 3, F, 4, G, 5, A minor, 6, and B diminished, 7. So the 1, 2, 3 I think about when playing in C is not the same as Ka'ai was describing in his first method book. But there's a very good reason he featured those chords. The C, F, and G are very important chords in the key of C. If we look at our Roman numerals, we see they represent the 1st, 4th, and 5th chords of the scale. The 1st, 4th, and 5th chords of any key are very harmonically powerful and form the basis of most of the songs that you know. Ka'ai's method highlights chords in groups of 3, arguably the 3 most important chords for each key, the 1, 4, and 5. So let's look at the 1, 4, and 5 of some keys you are likely to come across when playing the ukulele. All right, so here is a selection of those 1, 4, 5 chords. In the key of C, we have C, F, and G. You can hear that sound. Now, any time that we have these 1, 4, 5s, a lot of times the 5 could be a 7th chord. So you could play C, F, and G7. We have the key of G, which is a G, C, and D chord. G, C, and D. And like I said, we could also do D7 there if we wanted to. D or D7. The key of F, we have F, B flat, and C. F, B flat, and C. Or we could do C7 at the end there. F, B flat, and C7. In the key of D, we have D, G, and A, or A7, D, G, A7. In the key of A, we have A, D, and E. Now that E is a weird one to get to, right? So in this case, playing that E7 is a really nice alternative. So A, D, E7. Now we've got a few minor keys. We have our A minor. So in the key of A minor, our chords are A minor, D minor, and E7. So A minor, D minor, and E7. Now, if we're looking strictly at the notes in the key of A natural minor, we would have an E minor there. That would be our 5, but it's very common to make the 5 chord in a minor key a dominant 7th chord. If that's weird theory stuff that you don't want to think about right now, don't even worry about it. These are just 3 chords that sound great together. In the key of D minor, we have D minor, G minor, and A7. So D minor, G minor, and A7. In the key of G minor, we have G minor, C minor, and D7. G minor, C minor, and D7. Or we could play this version of D7 as well. G minor, C minor, D7. C minor is an interesting chord. We can bar that chord. I'm just using my pointer finger pressed across the 3rd frets of my A string, E string, and C string. And the G string is open there. Finally, we have the key of E minor, and our 1, 4, 5 there is E minor, A minor, and B7. We've got another bar going on here, as you can see. Here I am using my pointer finger to bar all the strings on the 2nd fret, and I am adding my middle finger on the 3rd fret of the C string. So spend some time playing around with those. There might be some new chords in the mix, but spend some time playing them in these groups so you can get a feel for what that 1, 4, 5 sounds like in all sorts of different keys. This is an easy way for us to transpose from one key to another. Maybe you learn a song in C, but realize it's easier to sing if it was in the key of G for you. So you get the same sound. Those chords are the same relative distance from each other, just from a different starting point. So have fun with those chords. See if you can add them into your repertoire. Maybe it'll help you learn a new song as well. And I'll talk to you again next week.